Hey, good morning, everyone. Shelley here. Just coming back to talk to you a little bit about why I got started in bodybuilding to begin with. It is week 35. I just hit, what's the math on that? I just hit 8 months today, I think, in the process of like completely dedicating myself to my end goal, which was competing in fit model category for 50 and over, which I think is Ultra Masters, but I'm still learning. And I wanted to talk a little bit about why I decided to do this and also give some examples of photos that I was using as one to like show me what little progress I was making not lifting this way, but also a little bit of a, not a before and after, but a progress photo from before I started dedicating myself to following macros and following my lifting plan, which was very specific and given to me by a coach. And so anyway, last summer, well, no, I'll back up all the way until I was in my 20s. I started marathoning. Coming out of the military, I was already relatively fit and wanted to keep up some level of fitness through having children and raising children. And I was staying at home too. And I had found a friend who was a marathoner, and that was interesting to me. I was also teaching fitness classes at the time, and but wanted something that was maybe a little bit competitive that I could measure. I like measurable things. And so I started marathoning. I think I counted at one point 50 between halves and fulls. I loved it. It was a nice way to just push myself, get out there, meet another, community, and runners are a fantastic community. And, it just gave me a goal and something to just go do outside of, my everyday life, which was raising children, of which I have 5. And so I did that for years, loved it, but wasn't really realizing that I was, just slowly allowing my muscles to go away. I wasn't lifting. I was lifting on and off in that time. I wasn't not lifting, but I was not lifting in this way that I do now. I did some CrossFit and things like that, and some group classes, which I really enjoyed. And then during COVID, I also did some online YouTube instructors, which they focused on primarily lighter dumbbells, higher reps type things, which was great, I felt, and I combined that with some running. But what I was noticing was I was losing muscle anyway. And for as much as I was working out, I wasn't gaining any ground. And I had a photo I looked at one point from, there was probably like a 3 or 4 year difference in these photos. And I had taken them just to give myself progress photos so I could see if I was making any progress. I had taken one a few years prior, like right at the beginning of dedicating myself to lifting a bit heavier, not heavier, but more consistent, I guess, with an online, YouTube instructor. And then I took one a few years after that, and there was virtually no difference. And I thought, okay, I guess I am older, and that's what happens. Maybe I should be grateful that I stayed in okay shape. And this was, by the way, my standards. I'm not imposing them on anyone else. This was just what I felt like I wanted for myself. And I noticed I really didn't have much change in my overall structure. There was some, level of fitness there and some muscle, but it wasn't what I thought it should be, given how much time I was dedicating to all of the exercise. And I would be running, 3 or 4 times a week, and I would be lifting high rep, lighter weight dumbbells 3 or 4 times a week. So it's a lot. I was working out every day for the most part, and I'd probably throw in a yoga in that time frame too. And so it took me some time to think, what is happening? I don't understand. This is not like it was in my 20s when I could lift for 5 minutes and have a muscle. You don't realize when you're in your 20s and even into your 30s that there's a lot of freebies, and I was certainly enjoying them. And so I started to do some research last summer, and I mentioned this in the last video, but just about who was keeping muscle, which women my age were keeping muscle and just looked healthy and fit. And it's when I started finding some, bodybuilders online, and I was watching them talk about their macros and talk about their heavier lifting sessions in the gym. And I just decided this has to be it. I'm going to do this. I wasn't sure at the time that competing was going to be my end goal, but I wanted to follow what they were doing for a lifestyle. And so started researching, and in August, July, actually probably, so almost exactly a year ago, I started looking into macros. And I was doing it primarily with online resources. I was definitely using chat, just kind of getting an idea. I knew that that was not going to be like an exact answer, but it gave me a reference, which I don't like it when people say that, chat isn't, or AI in general, I don't care who it is, isn't a good resource for things like that. I don't agree with that. First of all, you get it out what you put into it, so you can give it a really silly prompt and get something really silly back. But if you're really particular about what you're asking and how you ask it and what resources you ask it to use, you can get some pretty valuable information, and that's a place to start. It doesn't mean that's where you're gonna stay. That's a place to start. So I started there and had chat help me with some macros and some foods. And again, I'm vegan, so I wanted plant-based recipes, which I have to say, chat cranked out some really good recipes that I still use today. So again, you get out what you put in. I got some really good stuff. And then, maybe from July to around October, I was doing my own thing based on workouts and recipes and macros and things I could find online. And it was going fine. I was feeling stronger. I was definitely gaining muscle, but I wasn't sure ultimately if it was exactly right. And I think I got far enough into it, saw enough progress that I was like, oh, this is something. I want to do it for sure, right? I want to find a coach, basically. And so I did. I started researching for coaches. And like I said in my last video, I found one. And for various reasons, we just weren't a good match. And then I found Miss Meatless Muscle, who I highly recommend. And she's who's currently coaching me. And I think if you're looking for a coach or even considering a coach, I would definitely check in with her. She does lifestyle wellness and fitness as well, so not just bodybuilding. But I reached out specifically for bodybuilding. And originally, the coach I had worked with previously had suggested that I do bikini category, which there's a bunch of different categories. And if you're not familiar, you can definitely look them up. I can talk about them later. And so I didn't know any better. And so I thought, well, yeah, then that's what I'm going to do. And then when I was chatting with Brooke, she said, hey, why don't you consider Fit Model, just because of where your natural inclination is, which I lean on the lighter side. I'm not a very big person, never have been. I usually sit around I'm 5'4" all the time. That doesn't change. But about 115 pounds. And so just kind of given my situation, she thought Fit Model might be a better option for me. So I started down that trajectory and have now, been in really dedicated lifting with macros for 8 months. And I'm not going to lie, it's not like a magic pill. There's a lot of work that goes into it. And currently I'm only in the gym 4 days a week right now, which I was at 5. I'm only in the gym 4 days a week. And I have 2 short cardio sessions and some steps to get in, because my goal right now is to gain weight. So I'm not trying to cut anything right now. I need to put on weight to put on muscle. And that's going to be a while. And that's really different for me. I have to say, I think one of the things that women get caught up in Oh, there's so much here to talk about, but one of the things women get caught up in is um, not wanting to gain weight, thinking a number on the scale when it goes up is a bad thing, and that's just wrong. And there is a reason. There are times when that's not good if we're not doing it purposefully and with the right foods, but it's a really interesting thing to have this discussion with yourself that seeing the number go up is good because it's just ingrained in us to think that that's not right because we're taught to be smaller and kind of hide ourselves. And in fact, I think there'd be plenty of people that think what I'm doing is not right, and I don't care. I'm enjoying it and whatever. It's healthy and fun and competitive and different, and so I'm going to do that. And the other thing that I'll talk about a lot later as well is I think one of the biggest mistakes specifically women make is they don't eat enough. And they think, oh, I'm going to cut back on calories and that's going to keep me in a low weight. Well, that's not true. I mean, to some extent, yes, very briefly. And then your body's going to go, oh, this is what we're doing now. Well, we're going to hang on to some things and we're going to slow the metabolism way down. And we're just going to like store things in case we don't get food. And so it just makes it harder and harder and harder because your metabolism adapts. And it's a really kind of a complex, it's not, but it is kind of a complex subject or concept because it doesn't make sense. You think calories in, calories out, but that's not the way it is. And so if you're very specific with the foods that you're putting in the amounts, specifically protein, but you also need carbohydrates and you also need fat, they're not bad things, but you just need them in the right amounts, then you have this really healthy platform to start building from. So anyway, I will add in those photos that I mentioned so you guys can see them. I'm just one person doing this. I'm one experience out of thousands. I don't think that many vegan women over 50 are bodybuilding. I don't know how many, but probably not that many. But cool. That makes the competition less. But I'm just one experience. I am not certified in anything. My intention is to get my personal trainer certification, which I'm working on right now, but this is just my experience. I'm not advising you to do anything. If anything, I'm advising you to go find a coach and a doctor and a, naturopath, whatever it is that you feel like you can trust, to start looking into doing your own thing. And if it's bodybuilding, I mean, I highly encourage you to get a coach and or at least have a chat with somebody that's certified, so that you go into it knowing what you're doing. And bodybuilding is a really weird sport, and I love that because it's weird, but it is very different, can be very extreme, and needs to be done safely. And I'm not here to tell you exactly how to do it, just telling you what my experience is. So anyway, that's it. Week 35, super excited to keep going. I probably have, at least 35 more weeks before I show up at any kind of show. I think maybe twice that. I don't really know. But, in the interim, I'm staying fit and healthy. I have a goal. I'm meeting lots of the coolest people. And that's it. All right. See you next week. Thanks for watching.